Both an honor and a privilege to be the one to have gotten it in. My goal is to do it justice with as few memes as possible, because this game certainly does love to meme. Last week was actually my 1-year anniversary of running this game, so the timing of this run is really cool to me. Shout out to everybody who set an alarm for this run, who woke up for this run, who donated for this incentive, and who generally just took time out of their day to be here to cheer me on. I really appreciate it. Alright, so this game has probably given some viewers nightmares, as it's infamous for being one of the most difficult games of the 90s. You actually met my incentive incredibly fast. Thank you. So I'll be playing it on the hardest difficulty. That means I start with 0 lives and don't pick another one up until the middle of level 2, and it also means the enemies are a lot more aggressive in certain levels. This game loves to eat inputs, and collision detection is a sight to behold, so this should generally just be an adventure. On my couch, I have with me the person I cited in my interview as being the reason I started running this game, an excellent runner of the Super Nintendo version, the ever-lovely Nichole Goodnight, and a Genesis runner who taught me a clip when I was learning the game on stream a year ago, whose gameplay inspired me to get better, Kajik87. Thank you, ladies, for being here with me today. Would you like to say a few words?
Oh, 8, thank you so much. Hi, I am Nichole Goodnight, and as 8 said, I run this for the SNES. I am absolutely delighted to be here at SGDQ with her, and commentating alongside me is Kajik.
87. I am mainly a Genesis runner for this game. Super excited to be commentating with Nichole and ready to see 8 just crush this in the GDQ run.
So whenever you guys want me to count myself down, I'm good to go. All right, so I will be going in 3, 2, 1, go.
So The Lion King was released in 1994, pretty much directly alongside the corresponding movie, and things pertaining to the swiftness of the release will come up later in the run. It's a precise platformer full of clips, tricks, glitches, a whole bunch of things, so we're going to dive right into an immediate trick she needs to get through this level, which is a damage boost through that platform. She has to jump in a specific way to hit that bug to get her through, and then there's a couple pixels precision worth of a jump to get her to that health bug quicker than she should be able to. The rest of it is just climbing up as quickly as possible. There's multiple ways to get to the top, but only one is the fastest, and that is the one that she takes. Coming up to the hyena pit, she jumps into the far right to get him to jump a little quicker. Usually he would wait a couple seconds before attacking, and doing all this makes it so that she is already out of level 1. On to level 2, this is the first instance we see of the game being rushed. This level was actually added in to be a hard puzzle that ensured that the game was not beaten in one rental period. Not only are there multiple precise inputs, but there's also a part that can soft lock the entire game during the ostrich auto-scroller. So you're going to see her roar at specific monkeys and get thrown in different places, and the way that she's doing her inputs are making it so that she doesn't waste any time. For example, there on the giraffe head, she pushes right so she doesn't roll down. Something very little like rolling versus jumping seems minimal, but it saves about half a second per giraffe, and it adds up. Now, I played this level as a kid, and it took me a very long time to get through. I had no idea what up meant.
Oh, definitely.
Kajik, did you play this as a kid?
I think I was around like 8 or 9, and this level was definitely pretty tricky for me. And especially this part right here, learning the power jump was always weird, but it allows you to skip that entire platforming section. And now you have to go into basically this blind auto-scroller. So not only do you have to remember like which one is jump, which one is duck, and then figuring out the timing of the double jump. Yeah, it was always an adventure, many a life lost, for sure.
An absolute nightmare. Also, towards the end of this portion of the auto-scroller, she's going to be doing another precise input that allows her to not only not roll off of the next giraffe head, but also not splat when she does. So when Simba splats on the ground, it loses about 1.5 seconds. She's going to be doing inputs that make it so that doesn't happen. There's only a couple instances that can happen in this level, and she got that one perfectly. Now she's going to roar at the monkeys. Again, this puzzle was a nightmare as a kid, but she makes quick work of it here. And going across is going to be the next part that gave a lot of people trouble if they did manage to get this far to begin with. And that's the log climb. It's one of the first places we see Simba's precise jumps come in, which we're going to be going over a little bit later. These jumps she makes look really easy, but they're actually very difficult. It's easy to just overstep them or understep them and fall in the water. If she does that, it would be a game over or a life lost, and she'd have to go back to before the second auto-scroller.
And these monkeys are very fickle. Sometimes they listen to you, sometimes they don't. You have to sit in a very specific spot and roar at a very specific time, and each roar you miss during the speedrun could be like a second lost. And with all these monkeys, it really adds up.
Yep, and it could be a matter of just a single pixel that's keeping you from it. She dropped on a bird's nest there to avoid splatting, again something she makes look incredibly easy, and it is not. And then we're on to level 3, and this is where the difficulty really shines. All the enemies, instead of taking 1 hit in the easy difficulty, take 3. So she has to do a lot of health management that she wouldn't typically have to do in easy and normal. And it's kind of fun thing to mention now, she's running the difficult one, which is an incentive up from normal, but she's actually the world record holder in both of those categories. It's not an easy thing to do, so these ones she's going to be trying to avoid as many enemies as possible so that she doesn't have to waste the time to hit them 3 times. She's going to be doing this by jumping and rolling and avoiding, and she jumps over that bone cage, which you typically shouldn't be able to do. You're supposed to roll through it. We come up to our first instance of a major skip. This saves about 5 to 6 seconds, and it looks very easy because she makes it look easy. It is not. It's very easy to roll off that ledge and completely miss it. And that brings us to the geyser climb, which is another thing that makes it look very easy. She's actually typing in those jump inputs at a precise moment, and she's doing that because if you just button smash, you're not going to get up there as quickly as possible. This section is very hard too. You'll see she has to avoid the buzzards. If the buzzards hit her, she's going to be knocked off, in some instances to the beginning of the entire level. So it's a really tough to kind of avoid those, but she does it very easily. And here she's got 2 hyenas that are stacked as one. She's doing that so she can kill them as one cohesive unit. They are trying to stay together, but they can cause a little bit of problems, but she's handling them quite well. And she's going to be doing a lot of health management coming up.
Yeah, this section on difficult is very tricky, but luckily we're not too far back. We just have to do that top section again. But yeah, I hate this part on difficult just because of the 3 hyenas at the end. Health management is tricky.
Yep, health management's very hard. She did a beautiful job of doing it though, but sometimes the hyenas don't stack when they're supposed to. And it's just because of this game. And you'll notice that when she's going down those spines, she's ending at the very end of it and then rolling. If she missed that, she would actually splat again, which is another instance of her splatting instead of going through. So this level is full of precise jumps and precise motions to kind of make it a smoother level, but it's definitely probably the hardest level on this difficulty.
Oh yeah, I totally think this level is the gatekeeper of the difficult run. Once you make it past this, it's easy peasy.
The king has returned.
Luckily, we were able to grab a continue because when you start on difficult, you actually have, like 8 said, no lives, but you also have no continues, so you can just quickly game over. But we were able to grab one in the 2nd level, so we'll zip through this really quick. And while she's doing this level again, we probably have time for a couple of donations.
Sure thing. We have $88 from Tecate. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Coffee and 8 slang scar. It doesn't get any better than this. Congrats on your first GDQ run and good luck. We're proud of you. Can I get a little bit more?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
one
I
or
think
two.
we have time for one more.
Sure. $25 from Mosifus. It's so happy to see this still happening. Binging all the runners as I mull through my boring workday. Much love. Stay healthy, everyone.
Now we are back to the precise jumps that she needs to do to get to the end. Again, notice how she's landing on each thing and jumping up certain enemies. All of this is calculated and it is done exactly as it needs to be. She's going to grab a safety one up there, which is an amazing idea. And then we're back to these hyenas. Again, 2 hyenas. Now you can actually see that they are stacking correctly. And that's because of something she did. So now she can kill them as one cohesive unit. That doesn't mean that they're easy though. However, you can still see that they're trying to come at her. She still has to be very careful with health management because this part can and will get you. She's doing it very, very easily though, and she's got this.
One more hit and we will be done with this level. Boom.
And there we go.
Nailed it.
So this brings us to the Stampede, which is my favorite level as an SNES runner.
I love it too, but I'm weird, so.
So in the SNES, there's actually a magic pixel you can stand on that makes it so that you don't have to play through this level. That same magic pixel does exist on the Genesis, however, in the SNES version, if you get hit by a wildebeest, you only lose 1 hit point, and in the Genesis, you lose half your health. This means that that skip is not viable because you will just die as soon as 2 wildebeests hit you. This is a really good time to go over Simba's different jumps that we kind of touched on a little bit in level 2. So in this game, if you tap the jump button 5 different times, you more than likely are going to get 5 absolutely different results. And this is because there isn't just a small, medium, and large jump for Simba. There are multiple different levels, depending on the inputs you're putting in, how long you're pushing the button, a couple different things. There's also something he can do called a horizontal jump, which Aid is going to be showcasing in the next level. The reason we mention the jumps now is because Exile has at least 3 of them, and they're all performed differently, and they all accomplish different outcomes. So they're very important to kind of go over and to know as a runner, and they're not easy at all, and they can get you a lot, but she's going to do it with ease.
Yeah, Exile is one of my least favorite levels to run. It kills many a run.
And that is because a lot of Exile is also RNG. You're going to see boulders falling from the sky, and this is based on your position. Now, getting hit by that first boulder is actually considered a good thing because that kind of sets the pace for the rest of the boulders. Getting hit by that first one ensures that you're not going to get hit by one here. If you get hit by one while a boulder is chasing you and the boulder hits you, that is an immediate death. You can't avoid it. The only one you can avoid is this one.
Nice.
Which you did right there. Beautiful. And that brings us to our first clip. You can see she goes right through that wall after taking damage boost. That is very, very precise as she has to be running to start that. Now she's going to go through to the end. This is actually very difficult as well.
The king has returned.
Luckily, we got that continue, so we are still good to go.
We are golden. Getting hit by that first one, again, very, very good. And you'll see her jump over those bugs. Those bugs like to not play nice sometimes, but they were very nice for her there. Rolling into the porcupine, which is another thing that as a kid I did not understand and died a lot of times there.
Yep, a lot of people miss that casually.
Back onto the second run where we're going to fall into that pit to accomplish Exile 1. Exile 1 is what we refer this skip as. Now she's going to jump over those porcupines and get to that last section. The next section is very difficult. You can absolutely be knocked off of it by a boulder, which is no fun and very, very, very plausible.
There is another floor clip we can do, but it is very tricky and finicky, so often we just skip it all completely.
And that brings us to Hakuna Matata, which is full of spiders that jump at you, frogs that spit at you, and 2 bosses. Now you might think if you played this level, but there is only 1 boss. That is true. There's the final boss, which we'll go over, and then there is a secret sneaky middle boss, which is just water. And we'll get to that in a moment. You'll see she jumps over one of those ledges to avoid having to hang on it. She's going to grab this safety one up. Marathon safety strats are always amazing.
Yes.
And she's going to go ahead and jump over these frogs, jump over here, and go down here. She's going to be putting inputs in to make sure she falls down the right way. And she's going to jump at these vines to do the waterfall boss. The waterfall boss has very specific inputs to get up as quickly as possible.
So the fastest way, you use like 10 logs to get up. And it is kind of like an auto-scroller. They form the same way, but it always took me as a kid, like, I don't know, 50 to 1,000 logs to get up.
It took me every log humanly possible. So here's the actual final boss of the level, and you're going to see that she is attacking him before he can attack her. You'd never know it because she's doing it so quickly, but he does actually throw coconuts. By staying ahead of him, she ensures that she can jump on him before he has the chance to. He also can slap you right off the stage. She makes quick work of him though, rolls off the edge, and that saves a few frames of Simba's animation, and we are going on to Simba's
It's
Destiny.
a very nice stage. Now
Beautiful
we are
stage.
Big Boy Simba.
Big boy Simba with combat moves, just scratching, mauling, and throws. There are at least, there's 10 to 11 different ledge skips in this level. You're going to notice this because she's going to double swipe as she goes to the ledge. Right there you can see one where she avoids having to hang on the ledge. Each one of these saves about 2 seconds, so you figure 10 to 11 of them, it's a lot of time.
Big time saves.
There's also going to be, that's a huge time save. There's also going to be multiple leopard skips as well, where she's going to roar as it comes out just a little bit and flip it, so she can clip through there. Normally you'd have to wait for a Rafiki to come out and do it. Now the ledge skips, another thing to note about them is they're not all done the same way. Each one is executed a little differently, so it's not a learn one, learn all kind of thing. Here we killed this leopard because if we don't, when we get up to this clip and we do our roar, for some reason the game is going to roar at the leopard completely off screen instead of the one right in front of you.
Solid gameplay.
Game mechanics. That boulder can also instantly kill you, but she makes quick work of it and is already through the brambles. She's going to be taking some damage to get across these areas quicker, so she doesn't have to hang and climb. And that brings us to 4 ledge skips in a row, or 5 ledge skips in a row. She gets them all immediately. Amazing.
And then we're gonna go for
And now we're on
boulder
to-
skip.
Yeah, which is one of the most hard skips in the entire game. She gets it very quickly. That one saves about 7 to 8 seconds. One final cheetah skip, and then she is out of this level.
Ooh, this next level, so fun.
Be prepared, this level sucked as a kid because there is lava that drops, bats that fall, cheetahs, mazes, a whole lot of things. We're gonna let you in on a little secret pertaining to this level. You can skip the entire thing, which she does very easily and takes us immediately to the auto scroller.
So this is technically considered the boss of the level. So what we're gonna have to do now is just wait for these lava chutes to come up however they decide to. It actually depends on how you fall down into the pit, what their pattern is. So now we're just gonna kind of wait for all of the lava to do its thing while she avoids the tiny rocks falling down. And then each lava chute is going to have a cap that falls down. And once we get the cap on the far left one, we will shoot up to victory, I suppose.
And it's worth noting that these caps that fall will instantly kill you if you get caught under them. As another part that kind of caught me up as a kid is I would see that the lava was down, I would jump on the rock, the thing would fall, and it would kill me.
Yeah.
So she has to also avoid that and avoid the falling rocks. You can avoid the falling rocks by keeping your little paws on the little rock you're on. As long as that's happening, you're not going to get hit by the rocks. Now she's on that platform, and all she has to do is wait for the final one to come to shoot her out of this level.
Freedom!
And just like that, we are already out of this level. Now we are on to Simba's Return, which is just full of hyenas, chocked full of hyenas, hyenas to the brim. Each hyena requires 5 swipes to kill, and 8's going to make it look like 1 attack, when in fact it is 5. So by doing this with each one, it saves a lot of time. You'll also notice the position of her body when she's attacking him is so that she can be pushed in the direction she needs to go. Now she just got a ledge skip that made look very easy. That is more difficult than boulder skip.
So
probably one
crazy.
of the hardest ones to get. It's absolutely insane. Now she's going to kill these 2, and you'll see again her body's positioned to where she's going to be pushed back to where she needs to be. Now she's going to do a 3 stack. So she's going to jump over this middle hyena. It's not as easy as she just made it look. It's very easy to attack that hyena, kill it, and have the other ones not stack. They all stacked for her, however. Which brings us to this room. She kills the first one, kills the second one. If she doesn't do that as quickly as possible, the second one will jump over her, so she has to turn around and kill it. Same thing goes for this room. She has to kill the first one as quickly as possible and climb up here in a specific amount of time and do a ledge swipe just as she reaches the top to kill that hyena, or else he will jump off. This one again is another instance of 3 stacks. She jumps over the first, kills the second, and the other 3 line up nicely for her to kill as
Very
one cohesive
nice.
unit. Beautiful. Now this is Pride Rock, where we fight Scar. There are multiple instances of lightning bolts that come down to strike the ground and light it on fire. This causes a lot of lag, and she's going to be doing precise inputs to miss all of them. Also, she's going to be doing a few ledge swipes to get her up quickly to where she needs to be so that she doesn't have to deal with certain climbs and hangs. And there's a technique in here that she uses where you have to swipe Scar's butt. So it's butt swipe, and Kajig's going to go over that with you.
So for Scar, we have to fight him 3 different times in this level. The first time we have to attack him twice, second time is 3 times, and third time is 4th time. So when we're coming up to the second fight, you see 8 trying to go for Scar's butt. That allows him to stay on the screen more toward the right, so we don't have to waste time running after him after this. She's also going to be going for double hits, where you try and get 2 attacks basically in one. You don't have to reposition yourself. And then after this climb, we have the final Scar fight where we have to hit him 4 times, and then when we flip him off the edge, that will be time.
She's just going to do 2 sets of the double swipes here.
And
Time.
And time.
very nice.
Beautiful.
Solid run.
Oh man, the beginning was a hot mess, but I recovered well and I didn't fully game over, so I'm all right with it.
Hey, Graveyard is the gatekeeper, and you made it through, and the rest was like beautiful.
I'm
Oh,
all right
that was
with that.
amazing. Great job, 8.
Thank you guys so much for doing commentary for me. Thank you, GDQ, for having me. I had a lot of fun. Please, please, please donate. It's a great cause. You want to meet the incentives that are currently up. Thank you for having me again.
Thanks, everybody.
Incredible run from 8. Thank you so much, friend, for the great Lion King run. Everyone give a round of applause. Darkman is over in the corner applauding. There's actually a lot of love for the Lion King run, so let's go ahead and read a few of your donations. We have $25 from J-Rod, 5009. Go 8 Go! We have $5 from Silver Moon Light. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited for the upcoming Lion King run. Best of luck to 8 and everyone else running today. $10 from Fruit Lion. The Lion King speedrun community wishes you the best of luck. And now for an obligatory quote from the film. You gotta put your behind in the past. I'm not going to do a Rafiki impersonation. I don't think I'd do a very good job. $5 from That Masher. Wish I could give more right now, but with how things are, here to cheer on the homie 8. Knock it out of the park. Do it for Knuckles. All right, friends, we're going to pass it off to a quick Twitch ad. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.